Welcome to our channel.
Thanks for watching.
Where we upload 2 to 3 times a week and we talk about basically everything, relevant topics, trending, marriage, relationships, anything you want to know, we kind of
talk about. Yeah.
And today is actually part 2 of the Reddit story, Am I the asshole for leaving my boyfriend when his ex died, leaving him to take care of his kids full time? I know you've been waiting on this. Let's dive right in. Last few days were chaotic and full of confusion, to say the least. I didn't answer a lot of questions and I am sorry to all of you for that. I was not in the right state of mind and was overwhelmed by all the replies.
It's a recovery period.
As is human nature. All the reasons I was an asshole and cold-hearted biatch messed with my mind a lot. To answer a few questions, I didn't leave without goodbye. I had told the kids goodbye. I didn't want to cause too much strain and said I was leaving for a while for work. I did just tell my ex I was leaving. I couldn't take another round of stop acting like a child and grow up.
That's the meaning.
It is. Like he told her to just suck it up. Basically, like, this is your life now. You're with me and this is our life.
Y'all not married. Chill.
I feel like she handled that part very tastefully, more than some people may have. Like, you know, giving the kids that,
it's not the kids' fault.
It's not, like, and giving them that space to know that, hey, I'm leaving. Like, they've already been through so much jarring and traumatic situation. So it's kind of like her saying goodbye to them in the proper way is very important. And even though she didn't need to do that since the relationship was over, she did. That makes her like a really, honestly, good woman.
I think any person who goes into a child's life and really is there for, I don't know, 3+ months or something like that, really impactful times, I do think it's worth trying to say goodbye, you know.
And clearly communicating to them, because kids, their perception of reality is so different from us. Like, things that affect you, your childhood trauma, wounds, and things of that nature that shape you, and basically what you repeat in relationships when you become older, it's usually due to not having a proper understanding of what occurred in your childhood, or being able to have the proper thought process to work through what occurred in your childhood. So if she was basically new mom, and new mom just up and disappeared and didn't say anything, that could cause a lot of abandonment issues. I mean, mom dying probably caused some abandonment issues. They probably didn't understand why she quote unquote left, even though she didn't voluntarily leave them. 2, I don't normally work from home. He asked me to stay home with his daughter, stating he doesn't know how to take care of a sick kid. She really was sick at first and I went along with it, but he refused to help even in the evenings. Most of your assumptions about him was true in the sense I almost always end up looking after the kids alone. He rarely did his part. It was either he was exhausted, he couldn't face them, he didn't know how to deal with their grief, or I did it better. I called that in the last video. I said that it seemed like she was just in that role. Like, she assumed a parental role rather than like, oh, I'm helping you out role, you know? That's basically what happened. I was supposed to help him, show him the ropes, but I ended up feeling like a single mom. As a parent, he got custody. His ex-parents said that was for the best since they already were retired. They did not want to raise the kids. Anyway, I was able to move back into my earlier apartment. Thankfully, the landlord hadn't rented it to anyone else. I did have a lease, but I did not want to keep paying rent and had to come to an agreement with my landlord to sublet for month to month till I am back. Being back in my space, I feel much more calmer. I also met with my ex. After the initial blasting, he called me yesterday asking if we could meet. I wanted to get more clarity too and agreed. He came over, finally got a babysitter, and we had a good talk. He apologized for everything he said and demanded I do. He said it was a big unexpected change for him too, which I was saying, it's an adjustment, and it really is best if you have major adjustments to have a village, support, and honest to God, you do need a babysitter. If you don't have that, find a babysitter even before you get the kids, so you can take at least one day during that crazy week to kind of just decompress. He was scared and didn't know how to raise them, being a vacation dad. Having children home every day, thinking this was how it was going to be for the rest of his life, his words, had him terrified. I said I understood, but I cannot be a mom to those kids. I cannot take up his responsibilities. I want to help, but not in that capacity. I needed boundaries. He said he expected as much. He agrees he should have never asked so much of me. He asked if I could help him still, that the kids missed me, and asked when I will be back. He needed me. And I refused. I told him I will help, I will come around sometimes when I can, as a friend of Dad's would. But I won't move back in. I won't be a stepmom. He asked if I was breaking up with him. The truth is, I don't know. I do love him, but it won't work out long term. And everything he did and said is still raw in my mind. I said as much to him. I can't be in a committed relationship with him. I won't go anywhere. I will help and support as much as I can, but as a friend. I guess we are ending that relationship. I met kids this morning. I went over there with some pancakes. They asked when I was coming back to live with them. I told them I have my own home to take care of, but I will visit them when I can. While surprised, they seemed to be accepting the situation. They had questions, of course, but accepted I will just be Daddy's friend. His daughter asked if I could still be her best friend. I agreed. I guess that won't be too hard. She gave me a hug before he took them to school and daycare. I actually feel so much better. This was a role I can deal with. I don't know if it's the right way. I hope it works. Thank you all for your replies and guidance.
So distant, just a little bit distance from it all. Yeah, I think the only way to set those boundaries is living separately, probably. Because he couldn't really give her those.
I think he needs some time to himself, and I hate to say it, but he needs some time to himself. It sucks, but people do this all the time. They are single parents, and I'm not saying it's the right way, I'm not saying it's the preferred way, and I'm not saying it's the wrong way. But I am saying that he needs to figure it out and go through the motions of what's working for him, what works for him and his kids, how he can put this, together before taking on a relationship. I actually think it was an awful idea to have a new relationship or a relationship that you're taking very slow and just move them into your house at the same time.
At that point, that was a breaking point.
Right,
it should have just been a no.
It should have just been like, can you come over and help me from time to time? It should have never been, can you move in? If you guys weren't moving in before the kids, why'd you move in? Like,
that's another thing. She wasn't moved in.
Not at all. That's what I'm saying. They're taking it so slow, like 2 years and not moved in with each other. And then you move her in the same time with the kids. Of course that killed the relationship.
That's a perfect storm, man.
Oh, it's a hurricane.
That's good that she does. She cares about the kids.
She does.
But she couldn't, the guy's trying to figure out if they're still together, but
I think there will be space for that way, way later down the road if she's able to stay consistent, like present and stay friends. But he has to literally
trust back, I think.
It's definitely earning trust back to respect those boundaries, but also just literally figuring out how to parent, what's going to work with your family. I'm saying he needs to do what she did and figure it out, and like he needs to experience that, like some type of karmic thing. It's not that, but just that's what she was doing. She had some type of system with the kids and it worked, and things were less chaotic. Let him gain his system, let him experience what works, let him set his routines with the kids, and that way it's not so hard. He knows what it is and he doesn't have to deviate. And then you could probably have a relationship because you're sure of what your kids need and what they should have, and you have your system in place. You're not going to depend on an outside person. You've got it.
Yeah. They weren't moved in. They weren't married. It was a slow moving relationship. It was just, she is just a bystander. Like,
she was supposed to be a bystander. She became stepmom.
Yeah. I commend her efforts and just wanted to be kind. And she was probably, what's that type of person called that likes to help people a lot?
A people pleaser.
Empath.
Oh, one of them. She could have been a people pleaser. She could have been very empathic.
Yeah,
She could have been both.
So that was a great conversation. Ultimately she isn't the a-hole in any of this. And I think the guy, I don't think he's an a-hole, but he is just very, very confused, going through a lot. I
was going to say, I actually feel like this is an asshole-less situation. If there is one, I would say that this is a lot of emotions, trauma, and just adjustments as life throws another monkey wrench into plans. So I don't think anyone's truly the asshole. I think that he said something without thinking, it just came out, you know? You know, like that panic moment where you just say whatever, just trying to get through the situation. And I think that really did hurt her, but I do think that, you know, he's genuinely probably sorry about that. I think this was just a really rough and hard time for everyone involved. I commend you both, you know, for stepping up in both aspects of it all. But yeah, I don't think either person's the asshole. You don't think either person's the asshole.
What do you think?
What do you guys think? Do you think that, you know, there's an asshole in the situation? You think, you know, the original poster or, you know, the significant other? Let us know. Like, seriously, we really value your input, your opinions. You guys commenting always helps us know that our comments reaching, you know, who it's supposed to be reaching, and letting us know what you think. And if you ever have any suggestions, drop them in the comments below as well. We really love hearing from you guys. Until next time.
Yeah.
Bye.